Alright, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the review on the Christensen Arms Mesa 6.5 Creedmoor. I'll probably end up doing a follow-up review after I've spent more time with it. The wind's not cooperating here. I haven't had time to shoot it at any longer distances like I had hoped to have done by now, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the load development I've done on a couple different groups here in a second. But quickly, I want to go over the things I think that make this rifle worth purchasing over maybe some other rifles. Nothing's really changed since my initial impressions. I think this is a lot of gun for the money. The stock is a very good stock. It's got a nice recoil pad on it. It's your typical hunting stock, so it's not going to be a lot different than other stocks as far as style, but it's a fiberglass stock. It feels really good, and it will serve you very well in hunting situations. The brake is a nice feature. I like the side bolt release, as we discussed. The trigger is going to be one of the best triggers you're going to find in an off-the-shelf rifle. The magazine box, it's a little bit shorter than I would like, but it is still going to be longer than some other rifles, especially when you get into the long action calibers. The Christensen Arms is your typical Remington 700 magazine box length. A lot of the others are going to be shorter. Just the Nosler Tikas, to name a few. In my opinion, they're too short. They're outdated. I don't understand why they're continuing to use such magazine boxes of the shorter length. And then you get on to twist. I think everyone's pretty much doing the right twist in the 6.5 cartridges, all the 6.5 calibers. But when you get up into the 7 millimeters and the 300, a lot of the other companies are using too slow twist. Bullets are getting better, they're getting bigger, and again, I don't understand why we're using slower twist in those certain calibers. It's just outdated. So when you start looking at the 300 Win Mag and the 7mm Rim Mag, the Christensen Arms rifles are going to be twisted like they should, or at least good enough to get you into the what I would consider the bigger, the better for me, for my style of hunting, bullets. There's, like I said, they're still getting bigger, so it's getting to where you need even faster twists now than you did 3 or 4 years ago. But Christensen Arms is going to be better than a lot of the competition. Some people insist on sticking with the 9.5 twist, or even a 10 twist in a 7mm, and then the 11 or 11.25 twist on a lot of rifles in the 300 or 30 calibers, and I just don't get it. So if you're wanting to go to a long action and you want to shoot the the 180 grain 7mm or the 210 or the 215 grain 30 caliber bullets, the Christensen Arms is going to weed out a lot of the competition just because they chose the wrong components and continue to do so. So those are some of the things that you're going to have to consider depending on what bullet you want to shoot. And I also know that a lot of guys don't want the heavy bullets like I do, and they may be limiting their shots to shorter distances where the ballistic coefficient of bullets may not be such an important part of the equation, but for me it is, and like I said, it would lead me to picking the Christensen Arms over some of the competition solely on those purposes, when those other rifles might be just fine otherwise. When you add up the stock that you're getting, the side bolt release, the trigger, the bottom metal's better than what I would consider a factory Remington BDL bottom metal to be. You're getting a brake on it, and then maybe less important to some people, it's just really cosmetic, is the fluting. When you add all that stuff up, it's kind of hard to get a rifle done, or maybe even next to impossible on your own to get a rifle done for the price of this. The accuracy's there. A couple different factory ammos are shooting right at or under half minute, and I've got 2 different bullets shooting under half minute. So we'll take a look at those real quick. Alright, here we've got the Hornady ELD M 120 grain. As you saw in the previous post, we did a optimal charge weight with Varget, and then I picked the most stable load in the middle there, and we played with seating depth a little bit. So I just picked, we went 20 thousandths longer, 10 thousandths longer, 10 thousandths shorter, and 20 thousandths shorter than those previous loads with the optimal charge weight. I've got two loads here at 2.190 inches to the ogive of 0.518, and then at 2.160 I've got 0.558. I did make an adjustment there in the middle because I was afraid I was going to go off target high. But we got two loads right there, right around a half minute, and I think I could probably tweak a little bit, maybe go 5 thousandths in, 5 thousandths out on both of those, and maybe get a little bit more. And I would probably tweak the powder charge maybe a tenth up and a tenth down and see what that does. But for the purpose of this review, you can see this thing's gonna be capable of shooting half minute. So again, in the follow-up review, when I'm going out to longer distances, I might go ahead and play with some of that here at 100. Before then, we'll maybe add that to the video. I might just play with those, tweaking that out at longer distances. But you can look for that. But like I said, for the purpose of this review, it'll give everyone an idea of the capabilities of this rifle. Okay, here we've got the 140 grain Berger Elite Hunters. Again, from the previous review video, we took the optimal charge weight. It's a little bit different. 42.5 was the upper end of that test. I did go ahead and shoot 42.8. It's above pressure that I feel comfortable with. So I went ahead and stayed with the 42.5 grains of H4350, and again I varied the seating depth. We went 10 thousandths longer, 20 thousandths longer, and 10 thousandths shorter, and 20 thousandths shorter. There at 2.110, we've got a group that was 0.409. Two of them were actually in the same hole. And then at 2.100, two of those three would have made a little half-inch group with the two from the 2.110. I really think that there's probably a sweet spot right there in the middle at 2.105 that I might play with later. But again, for the purpose of this review, that's going to show you this rifle is definitely capable of half minute. The conditions weren't great on this day. I was getting a little impatient trying to get this put together for you guys. It wasn't horrible, but the winds were blowing a little bit over 10 miles per hour. Didn't have any wind flags out or anything like that. I was just shooting. So maybe it could get tighter. It doesn't really matter to me. That's obviously the tighter group at that powder charge and that seating depth, and it's going to make a great hunting load. This particular bullet is the one I was most interested in anyways, as it is intended for hunting, and I happen to be a big fan of the Bergers anyways. But again, I'll take this out later and do some long range shooting. I'll probably do a follow-up video, but I wanted to get these out there for you. It's going to give you guys an idea of the capabilities of the rifle accuracy wise. Again, if you haven't already seen the first couple videos, it's shot 2 factory ammo, different bullet weights of the Hornady ELDM under half minute. It shot my reloads in the 120 ELDM right around a half minute. Maybe I could get it a little bit better, maybe not, but it's right there. And then this 140 Berger Elite Hunter just under half minute. And for a rifle that weight with a sporter style stock, with the barrel contour that it has, I think that's pretty impressive. So that's what we've got for the groups. Okay, now we've taken a look at the load development I've done on the two bullets that we talked about. If you want to look at the factory ammo, you can go back and look at the previous parts of the review. I'm just going to go ahead and summarize real quick, and then we'll close this out. For $1,300, this is a lot of gun. If you're not going to be taking shots over 100, 200 yards, I really don't see the purpose of spending much more than what you're going to get on a $500-600 rifle. The plastic stocks are going to be fine. Haven't really noticed a lot of point of impact shift with the cheaper stocks. And bedding may fix some of those issues if there are, but even at that, they still usually don't have a lot of problem these days holding under 1 minute. If you think that you might stretch the shots out a little bit, 400 or 500 yards, maybe even 6, I do think that when you go with a little bit better components, especially the stock, it's going to add some money if you bought a rifle without that stock and you upgraded. And then the brake is easily a couple $100 when you get a nicer trigger like this. Again, when you get into $1,300 for this, it is a pretty good deal. What you've got to decide if it's worth it to you for your style of hunting. I absolutely think it's worth it to me. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video as well as the previous ones. If you had watched those, please subscribe to my channel so I can continue to put out some videos, and give me comments in the feedback in the comment section so I can have the feedback to get better, or maybe add some information you guys would like to have that I didn't provide, or help me out with the future reviews. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.